What is going on, BW Sports 1 family, friends, followers? This is the Dukes of Football. That's right, baby. Powered by our funny, fantabulous realtor. That's right, the rockstar realtor, Shawn Nugent. 317-503-8322. Buying or selling a home, talk to Shawn at Talk to Tucker today. 317-503-8322. In our brother from another, Zach Dirr, over at Elite Performance, where the dream of elite fitness becomes a reality. 765-499-1005. Check him out at eliteptindy.com. That's 765-499-1005. Damon, we are still being hated on the book, so we are live from the YouTube channel.
Yeah, I was confused for a minute there because I looked up at the top and I saw that it was still there, but then I looked and said, "Ooh, no green check. They're still hating." Yep. So whoever this kid is who decided to be an asshole.
Yeah. And there may be more than one. We don't know. We don't care. We're live still.
Oh, so awesome, bro. What is going on?
Oh, it's been a busy day today over at the sports layer here. Got some stuff going on for the next couple days that they'll be airing for Combat Zone. And yeah, what you got rolling on there? Playoffs. You know, big NBA playoffs and WNBA season fires up. I will take a shot at you from last night's pick. Ha! The Pacers are rolling. Not so far into rolling, but we're rolling.
I'll address that tonight when I do a spot up for the Western Conference. I'll talk about it a little bit, but I'll probably address it a little more tomorrow on the state of basketball with the big man in the middle is back. So, you know, we'll talk about that. Yeah, the Pacers got that win last night. And the one thing I forgot to count is
I didn't think that they would score 144 points.
Not like that. Oh. Not without those kind of weapons.
Right.
But I didn't take into account of playoff experience.
True.
You know what I mean, that Charlotte team only had one guy who's had extensive amount of playoff experience, and the Pacers organization has they just approached the game different. I didn't take that into account. That's just bad commissionerism. You know, everybody does it wrong from time to time. Yeah, but we are not talking about that today. We're talking about football.
That's right, baby. The NFL season is officially open. Week 1 schedule. Well, not more than week 1. Just only not. Oh God, I can't talk. Not only week 1 schedule went out, but the full 2021 season went out with the 17th game this year. And you know, first week, what we're gonna do, guys, we're gonna talk about the top matchups in our minds for the first 8 weeks today. And week 1, I mean, they're popping off with some damn good matchups.
Yes.
He says yes.
So, and I think we'll get into that as here in a little bit.
Yes.
Into the show. But first off, we're going to get into a little MyBookie Man Cave chatter. This is where we normally have stories for you guys that we'll talk about. But right now, you know, there's not a whole lot of storylines going on in the NFL. So this is where I open up the table, so to speak, to anybody watching. What storylines have you seen or heard that excites you at the moment? And for you, Mr. Lion, over the last week, what has NFL has come across your ears that's kind of perked you up a little bit?
Well, I mean, there's been a lot of signings, you know, especially from the draftees. They've gotten the contracts signed and all that. But, you know, like we were discussing prior to going live, the only drama that I've really heard about over the past week or so has been, as we called it, the soap opera that's going on in Green Bay with the quarterback named Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, I'm more intrigued about this than anything because there's always new stuff coming out that kind of is like, all right, who's going to be the hardest egg to crack here in this situation? Like Aaron is, you know, he feels disrespected. He feels overlooked. He feels like what he's done for that organization has been just put to the side. Like, okay, we're done with you. Let's move on. For one, that's the way of sports. You are an asset until you are no longer usable for them. So you're an expendable asset until you're no longer usable for them. Now, the Packers look at it as like, I mean, this is a franchise. This is a business. We have to keep moving forward. I mean, not because we put more tools in the shed doesn't mean we're getting rid of old tools. You know what I mean? That's pretty much, the old tool is there like, hey, I've been doing this. The new tool, shiny, comes in and you're like, oh, so I'm not useful anymore. That's kind of how I look at it. So, and then Green Bay keeps throwing out these little shots like, well, okay, if he does retire, well, you're going to have to pay back millions of dollars.
And millions.
I don't understand how Aaron Rodgers doesn't have the trade power that some superstars have. Like, how could you not dictate when you want and not? What was your agent? You must not have Les Paul or the other guy, Rosenbaum, because no trade clauses or trade powers is going to always be in his players' contracts.
Yeah. Well, he was on what was it, a 6-year? I believe it was a 6-year contract with Green Bay, and this is his last year on the contract, I believe. And a big thing, we mentioned this, it was either last week mentioned during the show or we posted it on the page about, you had Bart Starr, you had Brett Favre, and you had Aaron Rodgers. The first two had played 16 seasons with the Green Bay Packers and then no longer. This is Aaron Rodgers' 16th season with the Packers. The contract is over.
Yeah, and to really look at it, the Packers hadn't been all that great to quarterback transitions anyway. The guy who is as vocal as anybody right now in this Aaron Rodgers Packers saga is Brett Favre. Bro, what you doing the same shit?
Yeah, and he went to the division rival Minnesota Vikings after that.
Yeah, so, I mean, there's a tradition there that Green Bay does what Green Bay does, and they have an issue with transition with quarterbacks. So, I mean, hey, is he going to play? It comes down to how much is your money value to you?
Yep.
You know what I mean? So, and it's going to come to money and legacy. If he pulls the retirement thing, you're going to get a little flack. You're going to get a little second ballot Hall of Famer talk. You know what I'm saying? Even though you're a first ballot. But that's the story.
I don't understand, and really quick, just to finish on this soap opera, I don't understand Aaron Rodgers' thought process because, yes, you've been their franchise quarterback. They're not necessarily, they obviously do not want to get rid of him. They, just because, like you said, just because they're bringing somebody else in does not necessarily mean we're going away from you. We might look at you now to be that leader, be that helpful person, because let's face it, you are eyeing the end of your career. You're at towards the end of your career, Rodgers. Do as a good person should. Now, I'm not saying, hey, give him every secret in the book, because yes, there are certain things that every individual has to learn on their own for themselves to grow. However, and he may be looking at it twofold here. He may be looking at it that Brett Favre was the same way to him as he's trying to be to the next guy, which, I get it to a point, but let's face it, the Green Bay Packers have never really thrown you to the wolves until this past season, when they didn't do anything for you on your receiving core. Now, they've been working on it. And let's see what you're saying. Go for it, dude. You got something.
I don't want to say that they didn't give him any tools. They just didn't give him any tools on his side of the ball.
Okay, I looked at you got to have somebody to throw to.
Yeah, I looked at, they have people to grow. You just got to learn how to develop what you got. Don't draft sorry people then. You know what I'm saying? That's how I look at it, and on that aspect, but that's a whole different situation. But I think the Green Bay Packers addressed it as in we need to look at our football team. You know what I mean? We got Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers does great things with minimal people. So let's go ahead and address the side of the football field that really got us beat. Not the offense. It was the defense. So I feel that they kind of, I don't know. I mean, I guess it's just, if you're a Packer or you're a Rodger.
Do you think since the Clay Matthews breakup on the defensive side in Green Bay, has that caused some turmoil within that side of the ball, I should say? Because like you said, yes, and I agree, the defense hasn't completely been there for a while.
Yeah, I don't know if it was that particular incident or it was, a combination of a couple different things going on. But I just know that they have slipped the last few years in addressing the defense, and that was something that they needed to do. And I look at it as in their general manager said, well, we got A-Rod. This dude is exceptional. He's one of the rare talents that's ever played this game. He makes great people out of nothing, as so does Brady. And that's, I think, how he looked at it. It's like, we need to address the side of the football that is hemorrhaging. So, and I think that's what they did. And he didn't see it that way. Maybe because they didn't talk about it, or maybe it was the fact that, they drafted a quarterback. But, I mean, teams draft quarterbacks almost every year. They just go to the practice team.
Yeah, I know. Hey, really quick, I did just get a notification a little bit ago that Cincinnati Bengals Joe Burrows will likely be ready for week 1 this season.
Mm-hmm.
I like it. Because I'm interested in seeing what he can do in the pros.
That's a quarterback-heavy division. It's going to be interesting to watch.
Very, very.
Hey, this is non-football topic, but I just seen this come across. Comedian Paul Mooney died.
Wow.
That would have been Richard Pryor's writer.
Yep.
If you guys didn't know that. So,
wow.
But yeah.
Condolences to that family. Yeah. Well, I don't know how. I was trying to think of a good segue.
There you go.
But I can't do that now. So give us a second and let us show you again. If you're looking to buy or sell a home or a commercial property, we got somebody just for you. What is up, everybody? It's your boy Dan over at BWSPORTS1.com and Black and White Sports. And I'm wondering if you're ready to buy or sell that home, now's the time, and I got just the person for you. Mr. Shawn Nugent, a.k.a. Rockstar Realtor himself. 317-503-8322. Put that home on the market. Get into your dream home with this man. Talk to Shawn at Talk to Tucker today. 317-503-8322. And make sure you tell him the boys over at BWSports1.com sent you. Boom. I know when we're ready. Yeah, I know when we're ready to move into an official building headquarters. That's the guy who we'll talk to.
Hey, you know what? That'll be awesome to drive up to the BW Sports 1 studios.
It would. One of these days, guys. One of these days, we promise.
Yeah, it's going to happen, with the haters or without the haters.
That's right. That's right. Hey, speaking of haters and non-haters, some haters and non-haters alike were watching us swing the clubs last week. Damon, what were we out at the driving range for?
We were out hanging out, trying to work on our terrible golf games for the Broad Ripple High School Scholarship Foundation charity golf outing or fundraiser. And we are proud to be partners with the John Finney and the Broad Ripple Scholarship Foundation. And what we're doing is we're doing some golfing, 9 holes of a scramble with a couple of different teams. We have a guest fourth for us. You guys will know him as soon as y'all see him hit the course. But what we're doing is we're giving the organization is providing funds for underprivileged inner city kids to get access to higher education. You know what I mean? Not everybody is fortunate enough to have, athletic skills to, gain scholarships, but they do have academic skills. But being in some of those inner city neighborhoods and inner city schools, you really don't get that same access. And here is a foundation that is giving that opportunity for these young minded people to get a little bit of touch of higher education.
Hold on. I have a question.
Oh, Schnapple.
I only have to suck for 9 holes instead of 18?
I think it's only 9, bro.
Oh, no.
Is it all 18?
It's got to be.
I'm thinking it's all 9. There's no way we're going to be having having luncheon at the time that we're doing with everybody playing all 18.
Oh, yeah. There's got to be 18. There's got to be 18. Folks, we're playing 18 regardless.
And, we got to the month of June is coming up. So we have an opportunity to get some holes in, since that's AAU off moment in the summer for these kids to play with their schools for a little bit during the summer. So we can get some rounds in.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie. I played 18 Saturday with my cousin and one of our buddies. We got him out there for sure on 9, and by hole 8, we were all saying, all right, we're going to play 18, right? He's like, yeah, okay. Then we tried to get him to play another 9, and he wasn't having it.
Not going for that.
My body wouldn't have felt really good after that.
I don't know. I think I'm going to be playing with DJ here in the upcoming days.
There you go. There you go.
That might be nice. But anyway, so there you have it. If you want to, there's opportunities for you if you can't get to play because it is in the middle week, but there is opportunities for you to donate to this awesome foundation that is really getting started and ready to put forth some good effort. You can sponsorship the event, you can sponsorship holes. So there's different ways that you can get back to your community. So there you go. There's information. We got it up on the website and the Facebook page. So there you go.
Boom. Next.
Next is we got to get elite, bro.
What do you mean? We got to get elite. I'm getting elite, brother. I'm down 50 pounds. I'm loving it. I'm not going to lie. For the birthday the other night, I told him I had pasta for dinner. He shook his head. But you know what? I had to get them carbs back in me somehow.
Listen,
somehow,
bro.
Some way.
I got something for you, pasta lovers. I got something for you. Now, I know this is free advertisement. I probably can't even pronounce the shit right. But on my wife's side of the family, we have the gluten issue. You know what I'm saying? So we've explored into different types of pasta that is not as heavy on those other things that normal pasta has. It's the orange box, bro. It's made with chickpeas.
Ooh, I'll have to try that. I've done wheat noodles before. I don't think I've ever had that type of
noodles. The wheat noodles are kind of weird because they don't really take on sauces very well.
I agree. I do agree. It kind of rolls off of them.
Yeah. Grab these chickpea noodles, the orange box. So they got all the styles of pasta that you like, but they really, really coat well. They don't flake well like some of these alternative pastas do. So I'll put it out there. I'll give them free advertisement. I still don't say their name. I just said the orange box.
Well, next time I'm at the store, I'll be looking for an orange box. But until then, every morning, 7 a.m., I get my Elite on over at Elite Performance. Check it out right now. There you go. And the weekend following the golf outing out of Brookshire, there's a first annual EP powerlifting competition Saturday, June 19th. That's right, folks. Sign up now. Go to ElitePTINDY.com. Registration is up $40 leading up to the day of, and the day of will be $50. There will be prizes given out to the top weights. And yes, it's also sponsored by Rogue Energy, Built Bar, and we have a State Farm rep on board with us as well. So there are a lot of things going on.
Awesome. I was just told the name. I knew the name, wifey. I just didn't want to say it. No free advertisement.
There you go. Boom.
No, great. So where are we going from here? I think I had something. Last thing before we talk about today's, I just got through posting on our social media so they know where to find us. Sure. But the last thing before we get into our subject matter of today, you like baseball.
I love baseball.
I'm pretty fond of baseball myself.
I'm
pretty fond of those Indianapolis Indians.
Man, they got some stuff going on, and I love when
well, what do we got going on with the Indians?
Well, you know, starting Tuesday next week at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we'll be doing a weekly recap of the Indianapolis Indians because we are full season credential media people there. We get to take great pictures and videos. We also get to utilize the Indians with the Indians' permission. We get to utilize some of their highlights and photos as well. And we are going to be doing a weekly recap. Now, obviously, the past 2 weeks, we haven't done it yet. They were home, you know, and then they were away this week. They come back June 1st. However, next Tuesday, the first show is going to be pretty based on, you know, the first couple weeks of the season. And then after that, we'll have an actual weekly recap because June 1st is when they come back to town. And, you know, we are going to be at the Vic.
The Vic will be Victory Field, folks.
Boom.
What an awesome place to watch a baseball game. Even if you're in the stands, if you get a chance to be in the field, that is a great place to watch a game. So there you have it. We do baseball. We don't do hockey. I don't know if we're going to ever get to hockey. So
once I figure out everything on hockey, I mean, I get the whole gist. Put the puck in the net. I get that. But there's certain things that I just don't understand, you know.
I only want to cover the part that gets to fighting. If they're not fighting, I can care less.
We could have a segment a week called Penalty Box with Damon.
I'm good. I'm good with that.
Yeah.
All right. That is great. So we're moving on, bro. We're moving on to
the NFL season.
As you can see on the notes, I tried to come up with a cool name, but I couldn't come up with anything, so I left it at Doc Sports something dark side.
There you go. Hey, if you're into Doc Sports, you like good sports picks, text BWSPORTS to 29022 right now and get your $60 worth of picks for free, no obligation, no credit card needed. Text BWSPORTS to 29022 right now.
All right, so we, like you mentioned earlier in the show, we did nothing. The NFL released the schedule last week. We did mention a little bit of last week's show because they released when we did the show, they released the first week, but later on they released the whole season. So we're going to talk about some games that both of us think will be decent games to watch in the first 8 weeks or the first half of the season. I'm pretty sure our games are different, and I'm pretty sure we probably got some same games. Yep. I went through, and I didn't really pull a whole lot. I was figuring to get maybe 3-4 games a week. Man, there's some weeks I got one game.
Hey, you know, sometime at this point, we're only going on speculation in the name of the team and what they have that we've seen so far. By then, you know, when that week 3, 4, 5, 6 rolls around, it could be totally different.
Yes. So let's start off with week 1. We talked a little bit about it, but the games that I picked that are must watch or key games to start the season off, I got the Cowboys and the Bucks. Obviously, we want to know how good the defending champions are going to return. Cowboys actually have a really decent defense when all of them play all 17 games with more than 75% effort. I'm gonna keep eating them up for that because that is a terrible soundbite.
No
But
shot at all directed at good old Tom Racker, though.
not at all. Not at least not for me. But and then you have with the Cowboys, you got the return of Mr. Dak Prescott. So there's a lot of stories that you can have there, and it's a good game. We want to see if he's come back, if he's going to be what he was before he left, or are we going to see a new Dak? Or I mean, there's a lot of options there.
I agree. I think like I said last week, it hurts me to say this, but I think Dallas is, depending on how they come out week 1 against Tampa Bay, will set a tone for the first few weeks of the season for them, and they better come out strong. Unfortunately, I think that they're going to be very difficult to play.
Yeah, I think they are. And I hate to give the Cowboys any type of kudos, credit, or anything at all, but I kind of think that they're going to be a better than average football team. But then again, it's the Cowboys, so they're going to give us exactly what we expect.
No choking at all, right?
What game is there? A game that you got, bro?
Honestly, there's 2 games on my end in week 1. First off, the Minnesota Vikings at Cincinnati Bengals. The only reason I want to see this, honestly, is I want to see Joe Burrow's return to the field. I really do I anticipate a great career in the NFL for him as long as he stays healthy. And they have put people in places together in offseason within the draft and free agency that could be very beneficial for Burrows in that backfield, keeping him safe-wise. The second game, and I'm more intrigued on this one, would be Arizona Cardinals at Tennessee Titans. Main reason, Tennessee is still strong, but Arizona has been doing move after move after move in this offseason, and I really do think that the Arizona Cardinals will be a force to reckon with in the NFC conference.
I'm not biting on that train with the Arizona Cardinals again. They bit my ass last year when I was, fully believing in the things that they were trending towards, and they just not doing it. Not doing it this year. On paper, it looked great. That game does, give me a little bit with that one. I like your Vikings, Bengals. I think the Bengals have made great moves to try to do right by Mr. Joe Burrows. We saw yesterday that his doctor come out and say he's full go. He should be ready for training camp and all the good things. What makes this intriguing is Minnesota gets after it. They get after quarterbacks. So will it be a good test of how good Cincinnati can be in a very difficult division.
Yep.
So the extra game that I got the Browns and the Chiefs. I like it. I think that game will be the second match because they'll play again later on, and I think they do play a game later on. They shouldn't play twice.
Who?
Yeah, the Browns and the Chiefs is something I'm looking at because
they shouldn't play twice.
They shouldn't play twice. Kansas City coming off of the beatdown by the Bucs, and the Browns coming off of higher expectations. So that should be good. And obviously you want to see probably the best matchup in the AFC to start week 1, the Steelers and the Bills. The Bills, dude, it should be who is in the AFC? AFC should be the Chiefs, the Bills, and then whoever else, maybe the Colts. I think maybe the Colts, but that should maybe the Ravens too. But those 2 teams should be the top. And we're going to see what direction that the Steelers are really going to go in.
Starting off right
away. So that's the big games in week 1. Week 2.
Who do you got, D?
I got Rams Colts and I got Chiefs Ravens.
I'm looking at the Rams Colts being a definite key matchup as of right now, with the addition or the subtraction of Jared Goff and the addition to Matt Stafford. And then, like we've said, Indianapolis, They're a stout team, and it doesn't hurt me to say that because we live here in Indianapolis, and I'm never against the home team unless they're playing Philadelphia, but that only happens every so often. So yeah, I see the Colts being the Colts-Rams matchup being a really good matchup. Now, the other one that I'm looking at really quick, would honestly be where'd it go?
I don't know.
Yes. Buffalo at Miami. We know how Buffalo is at the end of last season. We saw glimpses of Miami, like I said at the beginning of last season. Their defense is stout. They just got to work on that offense. Now, with the offseason moves and the training camps, let's see if that's changed. And it is a division matchup.
Week 3. They only got one game on week 3. This only game that you probably care about in the Stevens family circle. We have the Eagles going to the Cowboys. So it'll be your first NFC East matchup. And it's a Monday Night Football game.
Monday night, September 27th. We're in Arlington, Texas for that game. Yeah, I mean, I'm going to have to agree. I'm looking at the schedule right now for week 3, and yeah, that's probably going to be my matchup to talk about that week.
That might be the one, you know what I'm saying? Because we'll have 2 weeks to see what the quarterback situation is and how Jalen Hurts and the Philadelphia Eagles are going to approach it offensively. And then we've got to see the 2 warm-up weeks, so to speak, for Dak Prescott. So this is going to be a really, really, really good game.
I agree.
Anything else you got for week 3?
No.
Nope,
Honestly, I was looking at it, I was like, no, not really. Not right now.
And same thing with week 4. I only got one game, bro. There's only one game that matters that week.
Let's see
if you pick the right one.
Well, at the moment you have, and I'm sure this isn't your pick, but it's your team. You got Pittsburgh going to Green Bay. But I'm more intrigued on the Sunday night game. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers head to Foxborough for New England Patriots matchup.
That's the one.
Kind of figured.
Hey, listen, this game is week 4, right?
Yep.
You already got Patriots on the team now throwing shots at the Patriot GOAT.
Yep. It's going to get
If I was anybody who played with Tom in that locker room, I'd go tell this guy, hey, bro, chill out.
Yeah, because it usually doesn't end very well when people start yapping at the mouth this early on somebody that high up.
Yeah, and for one, it's not going to be a disadvantage for him at all.
Nope, he's like just playing back at home again. It's like going to your high school and hitting the field again. What it going to feel like,
man? But that's going to be a good one, and I'm gonna call it now. It's liable to be a blowout. You know what I mean? The spread should be at least 13 points.
Damn. Ouch. Well,
Man,
we'll see the first few weeks on the quarterback situation in New England. You got Cam Newton, you got Mac Jones, and you also got Brian Hoyer now. So, I mean, like we mentioned, and we might discuss this later, but I'm going to throw this out to the fans right now. Is Cam Newton going to end up staying in New England past week 8? There's the question. I'll throw it out there. Comment. Let's hear it.
I think yes, because Bill Belichick is a guy who keeps his tool shed nice and full. So there's a lot of inconsistency with Hoyer, older guy. Cam Newton, a lot of inconsistency with his accuracy. But you need people to patch work to get it ready for Mac Jones to come in and light it up. But this is not even going to be about the quarterbacks. This is going to be about the legacy of Tom Brady surpassing the legacy of Bill Belichick. It's always been them two together. Coach, player. Coach, player. Well, Brady's as good because of Belichick. Brady's as good because of Belichick is as good because of Brady. But we proved last week the first check goes to Brady. I win the Super Bowl. You don't make the playoffs.
True.
So now we can already see the matchup. You know all of his strengths. You know all of his old man weaknesses. Will you be able to exploit him, or he just continually do what Tom Brady Go Blue does?
I knew that Go Blue was coming. I knew the damn Go Blue was coming. Oh, shit. Week 5.
Yeah, so that's it. Week 5. I got Bills Chiefs, which should be the matchup of the top 2 teams in the AFC, and then the battle for the next 2 teams in the AFC, Colts Ravens.
I have nothing but agreeing to you on those 2 games. It's a Sunday night game. Buffalo heads to Kansas City. Like you said, those 2 should be the top 2 teams in the AFC at that point. And it could be the whole season. You'll see those 2 kind of back and forth in 1 and 2 in the AFC. I also agree with you. A hell of a matchup. It's going to play out very intriguing when the Colts go to Baltimore to face the Ravens that Monday night, October 11th. That's going to be a big matchup, especially if there are injuries on either side of the team. Now, granted, injuries can play a factor in a lot of things. However, I'm picturing the Colts situation. You got new quarterback in Carson Wentz. We've talked about the stability or the instability of both ways of that. Your line better be good because Baltimore's defense has always been stout. And then you got to worry about Lamar Jackson on the offensive side.
And funny thing about Lamar Jackson, he's starting to learn how to throw the ball to a spot.
Yeah, he's becoming a little bit more accurate. Better watch out, folks.
Hey man, that should be a Final Four right there. You know what I'm saying?
That right there, I mean, it damn well could be. You can see all 4 of those teams playing for the bye of the AFC.
Definitely deep in the season, and it's going to make it tricky, especially with this extra game. So,
yep.
Let's jump into week 6. I got the Bucks going at your Eagles, and I got the Seahawks and Steelers.
Let's see. Looking at this, honestly, I'm going to say the only game that I'm looking at eyeing that's a really good matchup that's going to be a toss-up is that Monday night game, October 18th, Buffalo heading to Tennessee. Again, Tennessee's no slouch. I think that they're not at the top tier of the AFC as in the top 4, but I guarantee they're going to be 5-6 right there. They're going to be playoff contention. This could be a big factor in the AFC.
Yeah, I think you have a little more faith in Tennessee than I do.
Yep.
I know the running game.
Yeah,
I mean, their running game is outstanding, but what beat them is because they can't do anything else but run.
True.
I don't think they addressed their quarterback situation properly. I don't think they addressed their wide receiver issues properly. So, unless Derrick Henry, took the whole year, the summer off and rested his thighs on the white sandy beaches of Cancun, woo! I think it's going to be a rough one for Tennessee.
We'll see.
Well, we'll
see.
Jumping into week 7, I got one game.
Let me see. I'm looking at the week 7 schedule, and honestly, I'm looking at Detroit at Los Angeles Rams. The matchup.
God, we're good.
Yeah, the matchup of the quarterback switch. Jared Goff leaves LA for Detroit. Matthew Stafford lands in LA. Now they're matching up in week 7 against each other. Let's see who has the better team and who really made out better in that trade.
I know I got some Lions people. I'm sorry, but I think the Rams got the better deal out of this. One, they had a better team regardless. You know what I'm saying? Regardless, the Rams had a better team.
True.
You know what I'm saying? So I don't think really the matchup is going to be the quarterbacks, but that's what we're going to focus on. You know what I mean? Jared Goff's going to have to go against Aaron Donald. Good. He saw in practice every day. So I think he has the harder time because Matt Stafford knows that the Lions defense is bullshit. So I think you'll have a great time.
I think it's going to be definitely an interesting game. I could see that game kind of matching up paper-wise, statistic-wise on the passing attack as you would like a Breeze Manning or a Breeze Brady or a Brady Manning matchup. Just that type of aerial assault on both sides.
And I'm going to say this. This could be a preview to a wild card game.
I agree.
Just
Maybe.
putting it out there.
Maybe.
Because I don't have the Rams winning their division.
No, I wouldn't have the Rams winning the division, but the problem is Detroit going to be actually good enough to withstand some other teams in the NFC once the season really starts pulling towards the playoffs? That's going to be my only that would be my only hiccup on that.
But Patricia's gone, so we'll see how it goes. I think they got a shot of playing around with that wild card. You know what I'm saying? So I wouldn't be surprised if you see this matchup again later on.
Message.
So all you Lions fans, you can stop hating on me because I did throw something good for you. I think the separation of Pat Patricia, I think it's going to be great for that organization. Yeah, Patricia.
I believe you're right.
Week 8.
One team. I got one game. What do you got?
I got 2.
All right.
I got 2, but the one that really intrigues me.
Let me throw mine out first. I only got one game. I guarantee this is one of your 2. Your Steelers head to Cleveland, Week 8. That will be a very enticing matchup for the AFC. Again, AFC North and the AFC Conference. I think that both teams can struggle and can show aggression on the field. It just depends on where those teams are going to be at that particular time in Week 8 and who's going to step up.
Yeah, I think the Steelers, Browns, Dolphins, and the Titans are all going to be in that same little, maybe we're good, maybe we're not. I think they're all going to flirt around that 2 games above 500 area for the season.
I agree. What's your second game that week? Because I'm
Dolphins, Bills.
Who'd you say? Dolphins,
Bills.
Well, I picked the first matchup. You picked the second matchup. And again, we talked about that, and I don't agree with the way they schedule the division matchups. I think that there's 4 teams, you play each other 2 times. One matchup should be in the beginning of the first half of the season. Another matchup against each other should happen in the second part of the season. Just my thoughts. I know you agree with me. What is everybody else's thoughts out there? Let's hear it.
Yeah, I completely agree on that. With the Dolphins, I'm intrigued by them because I really thought that they was going to pull a Cleveland and do another quarterback draft and not give Tua his opportunity. But I think they did right. Just like Jacksonville, it's an all Clemson backfield. And just like it's going to be in Miami, you're going to have all Alabama wide receiver, man. So it's going to be comfortability. I think both of those quarterbacks have comfortability with people that they can lean on and trust. Lawrence with ETN and Tua with exactly.
Yeah.
That guy. So I'm intrigued by that. And I think the Dolphins, again, like I say, because of their defense and because of some of the moves they made on offense, I think they're going to be in that little 4-team deal where they can be a team that can cause those guys at the top some real issues.
I agree. Now, looking back at this real quick, I think another intriguing matchup that could potentially be a big game would be the NFC South matchup between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the New Orleans Saints. Tom Breeze is gone. Jameis Winston is there. Where these 2 teams will be at this time will determine if this game means anything or not, because it could mean diddly shit by that time because New Orleans may be just off the rocker with the subtraction or the retirement.
Sean Payton is going to be in a disarray where he's going to have to lean on Jameis Winston and Taysom Hill.
Yeah. Well, hey, like I said, if he's pulling by Week 8 at this point, if they are, let's say 5-2 or 4-2, depending on I don't remember if they've had their bye yet or not, but if they're contention in the NFC South is right there at second, right behind Tampa Bay. I could see this being a very intriguing game. On the flip side, it could be a total blowout, and at that time, New Orleans could be 1-5, 1-6, and who knows what
Who's the NFC South? You got Tampa
Bay, New Orleans, Atlanta, and Carolina.
So, I mean, by default,
they're number 2.
They're the number 2 seed. I mean, the number 2 team. So, I mean, I don't think Tampa Bay loses a game in this division.
Here's the thing, though, and this is not necessarily taking shots at Brady or anything like that. However, I think that over the past few years, let's say, the start of the season for a Brady ran offense is kind of slow starting. You know, it's not necessarily saying he's lackluster, he's losing anything at all by any means, because we saw what happened. He goes to the Super Bowl and wins it again. However, by this time, week 8, they may only be 4-4, 4-3, something like that. And then after this game could tell how the rest of the season is going to go for them. Never know.
I would not be surprised if they've only had 1 loss or no losses.
I mean, I'm not saying wouldn't be surprised, but I wouldn't be surprised.
I don't even think it's Brady, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? Because this team was winning football games at the beginning last year when it was just all defense.
And
then the offense came along. Yeah, the offense came along towards the end, you know, when Brady started to click with those guys. Harrison started to figure out how to exactly call plays and let Tom do what Tom does. You don't have those 5 weeks of play around like they had last year, where they have to compete at the end to try to make sure they get a spot, you know, towards the middle end where they just went on a roll. This year, they get training camp. They get the whole year. There's no pieces that they have to do new. Like in New England, you had new here. Well, over here, you had new here. Everybody's back.
That would be the only reason I'm saying that they may not get that slow start, because everybody is the same.
That's it.
And they don't need to find out and figure out how each other plays with one another. They already know.
Exactly. So, but yeah, that's what I got. So it'll be a good year. That'll be a good year.
Yes, that's the first half of the NFL season 2021 in a nutshell. Next week, Damon, are we pushing it to the rest of the season, or no? We're gonna wait. I don't know.
I think we'll wait for that, because I think before we can really assess the back half of the season. I mean, we got to see there's injuries and there's
we got to see what
bad
time
play,
work through adversity, right?
Yes. that might be the word of 2021. Adversity.
Well. That's true. That is true. Well, let's give the feedback of the weekly shows. Everybody starting the week off right. If we start on Sunday, we're going to start on Sunday, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Tommy Boy over there at Checkers and Wreckers, giving you everything that drives fast, shifts hard, keeps that rubber on the road, or slings that dirt. Check them out, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time at Checkers and Wreckers. Mondays, next week, actually, Monday, we will have an interview with the Bare Knuckle Fighting Championships announcer, Jeff Houston. He's coming on with me at Combat Zone. Tuesday will be our very first weekly recap of the Indianapolis Indians, like we mentioned before, at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Wednesday, the Dukes are back with another football show. You could catch us at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm sorry, I missed Tuesday night. Oh, my gosh, how did I miss the positive powerhouse, Monica P? Quantum Inspirations, folks. Check her out, 7:30 Eastern Standard Time, Tuesday nights. Thursday, moving on to Thursday night, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Catch that guy, the one, the commish, with Big Storm at the State of Basketball, where the NBA playoffs is running rampant and the WNBA folks are back in action. Love seeing the women on the court again. Let's see. Moving on to Saturdays, 12:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Catch Super Kicking It with Steven. That's right, Steven and Greg bringing you all things Squared Circle related. I will tell you, throwing out tomorrow, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Combat Zone had an interview. We have an interview scheduled with Josh the Hammer Burns from Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship. That is tomorrow at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Friday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard. Yep.
Hey, I didn't mean to cut you off. We was talking about the wrestling with Super Kicking It.
Yes, sir.
I'm have to inbox him because on A&E I've been watching these legends, bro. These legends bios, man. I've been going back. Like I watched the Booker T one and I watched the Stone Cold. The Booker T one was very entertaining. The Stone Cold took me all the way back to like NW. Like I remember stunning Steve Austin's first match. I remember
his first match, but I remember his matches.
And I remember his first match in ECW too. So that's how old I am. Yeah. So that was great. So I want to hear what he's got on some of those bios. I can think it's a new series that A&E is doing on the wrestler. So that is stupid awesome.
Yeah, I can't wait. And speaking, hold on. 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time this Friday, Tony Loco Soto from the Bare Knuckle Fighting Championships makes his debut as well on Combat Zone. Really quick, anybody that knows anybody in the professional wrestling scene around the Indianapolis region, surrounding states are fine. We want to talk to you. We feel like we could bring your show, your promotion, some hell of entertainment, commentating and broadcasting. So hit us up, info.bwsports1@gmail.com.
Hey, I could be the King Lawler on the sideline. No, I could do that. I could do that.
Lord Darkington, what is the Lion King and Checkers the Clown, I think would be amazing to add. And of course, I mean, you can't forget I forget because he's underneath me, he's below me as my the Lion King character comes out. What is it? Not Thomas J. Thomas J's from My Girl. What's Steven's what is Steven's alter ego in the wrestling scene? I don't remember.
We are terrible.
I mean, we all know the Ajami Wrestling Federation, the AWF, but I can't remember the guy in the suit and tie that was talking smack to Lord Darkington, Checkers the Clown, and the Lion King. I can't remember. Gosh.
Just because he puts on a suit and tie does not make him royal blood.
Oh, Lord there it comes.
Lord Dorkington does not entertain peasant thoughts.
I can't remember. Lord Dorkington one day, Lord Darkington the next. Who knows? He's a lord.
No, Lord Dorkington is my EA Sports golf dude. Lord Darkington is the AFE.
Gotcha. AFW. AWF. Damn it. We both got it.
Hey, bye.
Yeah. You know what? At this point, Damon, we love you all, even you in the far back. What do we do, Damon? What do we do?
Oh, we didn't get to do it. I'm sorry.
What do you got back there?
We are going to, because we haven't been on, we're going to chirp for Julian Eugene, the college graduate. Chirp, college graduate.
Ball State University.
And then my last thing is happy 10th birthday tomorrow to my little fathead man, Eli Zayden Thomas.
Yeah, you know us Tauruses, we stick together. That's my little nephew right there. Happy birthday early. One day. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Until then, as always, Damon, what do? We keep
the Indians sporty, baby.
Pew, pew.
I am going somewhere else.
Till then, peace.
Skeet, skeet.